What's up guys, Lester here again, back with another video for Clair Obscura Expedition 33. In this video I'm going to be showing you a quick little build guide that I used myself, and the fact you don't actually need to go to New Game Plus to get a perfect chroma catalyst for upgrading your weapons to maximum, which is also for another achievement or trophy. This video, pretty much basic build that I made on Maelle. Maelle's probably my favourite character just because she's so crazy strong when you get near the end of the game. And this pretty much one-shot everything, including the Endless Tower, the super bosses, pretty much everything endgame, which I would just completely trounce. You don't need as much of the expedition resources as I have, but I'm just going to show you her specific build that I've used. It's basically just a bunch of buffs on top of what she already has. Just make sure when you are putting your attributes on, I just made sure to put everything on might. You can also put some on luck as well, or whichever one scales with her weapon. The weapon that we're using is the purple one, which I'll show you in a second. But just before I show you the build, I'm going to show you the last boss of the Endless Tower, where I just completely obliterate it with one hit. And I used this entire build for just the whole of the Endless Tower and just wiped it entirely. Same with the 3 or 4 super bosses that you can fight. As you saw, 32 million damage. Not the craziest I've ever seen, because I've seen guides where people have done like billions, and I'm like, there's literally no point in doing that much damage, because even the super bosses at the end only have millions, not billions. So it's just like a flex, really. But you can do this build without too much of the expedition resources and things. So I'm going to show you how it works. And just to let you know, when you do kill the boss of the Endless Tower, the last one, which you just saw, you do get that perfect chroma catalyst. And you also get them from the other super bosses as well. So there's no need to go into New Game Plus until you really want to, unless you want to go through the whole game again. But you can get them from the first playthrough. You can get pretty much every trophy or achievement in one playthrough on this. So just a quick little screenshot of her build on the main screen here. You've got the medallion, which is from the arena for the Gestural Village early on. You can also beat Golgra later on, and you'll also get it if you've missed it. Second Chance, Cheater, First Offensive, Phantom Strike, Stendhal, and Burning Canvas. Last Chance as well. Those are the only ones you really will need for this build. And then, as you can see from her stats, she's got a fair amount of stats. She does also have a fair amount of luminas, but I'm just going to show you the build now and we'll go through it one at a time. So looking at the build quickly, we're just going to show you the Pictos. So we've got Second Chance, Cheater, and First Offensive. Cheater is very good because it allows you to use her thing that takes her down to 1 HP, which will give her more damage if you really want more damage. And then the first hit dealt deals 50% more damage, and you can also get Second Chance, where if you die, you'll get back up, which is really good if you do die, which doesn't usually happen very often. So we've got At Death's Door, 50% more damage when your health is below 10%. Then 25, 50, and 75% increased counterattack damage if you do counterattack, like if the fight goes on longer. 50% increased damage on the first hit. Then we have Rush, not really needed. 50% increased break. Break damage with free aim. You don't need these are just extras. 10% of a gradient charge on counterattack, that is very good. Always play twice, which is Cheater. Then we have 20% of a gradient charge on critical hit, which is good for if you want to use Gommage. 50% less damage but can't be healed in case she does get hit. 50% increased crit if your health is below 30. 3 AP on killing an enemy. Increased damage but can't be healed. So same again. Really good abilities, these ones, just because you want to stack the damage. Then we have Death 4 to allies. 1 AP on successful parry. 1 AP on Battlestar. All these ones are 1 AP. Basically just so you can start off with the powerful move at the start. Then first hit dealt and taken deals 50% more damage. Play first, which is obviously really good. 25% more damage, but take 25% more. 30% increased damage until it hits received. Apply inverted, which deals 50% more damage. You can see where this is going. 100% critical chance while fighting alone. Painted power, you can exceed 999. Powerful for 3 turns when revived, not really needed that much. Then we've got 2 when dealing mark to enemies, and then we've got the roulette one, which is really, really useful. So that is the one that will multiply it by a lot. Revive with 100% health once per battle. That is really good in case you do die. Then 30% increased damage while having shields. We have a thing that gives us shields when we're low on health, which is really good. Then when we fall below that health, we will actually get to use a turn. Then that's the shield one where you'll get the shields. 50% more damage if fighting alone. 50% increased break damage on base attack. Like I said, some of these aren't needed, but it's more the multipliers for your damage that you want. Then we have 15% increased damage for every status effect, and we have one on us. 10% increase when your allies are alive, and then that's pretty much it. And then when you go into most of these fights, I pretty much did all these fights one try, because you do have the one move that can do pretty much like 30 to 50 million damage on one enemy. But if you're wanting to do it on multiple, it's the one where it's multiple enemies with void damage, which is this one here, Phantom Strike. But this is Stendhal, and 90% of the time this will just kill them outright. Sometimes it will do this, where it does 12 million, so I just wanted to show you guys that, because you do have Roulette on, which is the one that either halves the damage or times it by 200%. So you can either do that, or you can do this. This is the usual setup, because it will give you more multipliers, because she'll be less health, she'll have shields, all that sort of stuff. So you use Last Chance, which takes you down to 1 HP. She gets the shields, she's on 1 HP. And then use Stendhal like you normally would. And watch how much damage this does. 53 million. And like I said, you don't need these crazy builds where people are doing like 26 billion and stuff like that. The bosses only have about a few million HP each. So the fact that you can just one-shot them all with this easy build is really good. And like I said, this works for Simon, works for Clea, works for the big dragon on the map, works for the other thing that's in the water. I can't remember the name of it. That's actually the one that gives you the 2 turns, or the revival Picto. A lot of these Pictos you probably will find just during your journey, because I never really went out my way to look at guides to find any Pictos. I just found them all naturally. So if you're exploring, you'll probably have 90% of these Pictos. There'll probably just be a couple that you're missing, but just Google them, because I don't have a guide that does that, because I have no idea where I get half these Pictos from. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed the guide. Like I said, you do not need to go into New Game Plus to get the item to upgrade to maximum. With this build, you can pretty much one-shot every end game boss with ease, and it doesn't take that much of your luminas. And from that, when you've done the Endless Tower, just go and kill every other boss, and then just get all your achievements or trophies out of the way. I really hope you guys are enjoying this game. I've had a blast with this game. I've done it on the Xbox now 100%, and I'm actually looking forward to playing it on the PlayStation, because it's such a good game. I would happily play it and platinum it on the PlayStation as well. But thank you so much for watching. Let me know how you guys are enjoying the game in the comments. I'll see you on the next video. Have a great day. Bye bye.